Hello. Today I want to talk about music education and how to incorporate some parts of being a musician as a teacher, as an artist teacher. In a lot of ways, when you make music, you're teaching. You're expressing yourself, your ideas to other folks. Whatever music class I'm in, I usually play a live instrument, be it the piano or the guitar. Those are the two instruments I play the best. Guitar better than the piano, but I can play both well enough to kind of get the ideas out, and that way they can see what I'm doing on there. And basically, as you're teaching, you're making music. You're one reason why I spent so many hours in the practice room playing piano, playing guitar, or playing in general, is so that I can share the music with other folks. And it's not just something that you're going to throw away when you're in the classroom. So if you teach elementary music and you play clarinet, take your clarinet in there. You play percussion, take some percussion instruments, and whatever instrument that you're using, and have the kids see the passion that you have for the instruments you have. And also, if you're a band director, it's the same thing. I know that time is of the essence in there. You know, you're doing so many things, but you need to play every once in a while for your students and let them know that music's a big, important part of your life as well. And it doesn't matter if it's through the voice or if it's through an instrument or whatnot. And I think we're also under the perception that we need to be a virtuoso on an instrument. I'm not an expert on piano. I'm not an expert on guitar by any means. And that doesn't matter. If you show that you love what you're doing, that's the key. And you know, who is the best on the piano? Who is the best on guitar? You're really not in competition with anybody but yourself. Every person that plays an instrument has a certain level that they can get at. I think on guitar, I was meant to play guitar. And I probably have, let's say I have that much talent on the guitar, and I'm using a lot of it. I'm not using quite all of it, but I'm using a pretty good bit of it. On piano, I really think I had that much talent on the piano, but I'm using almost all the talent that I have on the piano playing it now. So it just really depends. Trumpet, I had like that much talent, maybe even closer than that. And I didn't use like hardly any of that because I just didn't like playing trumpet. And you find what instruments you like playing and so forth, and you kind of get to that point there that for you, if you're a classical pianist, you want to play these big concerti, this concerto. For somebody that hasn't played an instrument before, playing Mary Had a Little Lamb might be the most incredible thing ever. So like my goal on violin was not to be at a level to be able to play a concerto. My goal was to play folk tunes and hymns and so forth, and maybe get a point where I could play a little bit of fiddle music going on. That was my goal on it. I didn't want to spend time doing the other things on it. On guitar, for the longest time, my main goal was to be a great solid rhythm player, and I am. And now, recently, I've been focusing on being able to solo and improvise on that more so. In the last 10 years, my solo ability has increased a great deal, and hopefully another 10 years from now, it'll keep on increasing. Because one thing as a musician, same thing as a teacher, same thing as a human being, either you're getting better or you're getting worse. It's very hard to stay the same. So either I'm getting better on the piano or I'm getting worse on it. And I'll tell you, classical reading-wise on the piano, I'm getting worse because I just don't do that anymore. Boogie-woogie, soloing on the piano, I'm getting better at. On guitar, I still play classical guitar music a great deal. I am actually working a lot on soloing and using my ear to pick things out more so. So that I'm improving on. So either you're getting better, basically really as an instrument, being a teacher or musician, either you're getting better or you're getting worse. And that's really the key there. If you really love what you're doing, it comes out and you see it. And your students will see it. And that's one of the things that, you know, why did you get involved in music? Why do you love music? Why are you doing this thing? Why are you teaching an instrument? Why do you have 60 trumpet students? Why do you have... And you need to ask yourself a question about that. And remember this, it's never about you as a teacher. It's about the student. What are they going to learn? And when I walk into a classroom, I never think about, what am I going to teach today? Man, forget that. I think about what are the students going to walk away after that 15-minute, that hour, 15 minutes, or whatever the length of period. It could be 5 minutes. What are they going to take out from that point there? And that takes the students that are Johnny on the spot, and also the students are just kind of just there, and gets them equal together at that point there, that, okay, they both are learning now, both engaging. Because in the last 10 years, last 20 years, last 100 years, students change. Students are always going to change, depending on technology, what's going on politically, a lot of different variables. And it's really easy to say, you know, it's just, I'm going to blame the student, bad student. Well, yeah, you can do that. Or you can find a way to adapt and at least have the student meet you halfway. If a student meets you halfway, that's not a bad place to be at. Because if a student shows up and wants to learn, I'll get them learning something. And that's really the point of it. And a lot of things also, and I talk about this a lot, about being a good human being, is that to be a teacher, to be an effective teacher, you got to know who you are. You got to be confident of what you're able to do, and not afraid to take risks sometimes and fall on your face and realize, okay, well, I'm not going to teach you that way again. I'm going to find another approach to have the students learn what you want to teach. And it just takes time. It really does take time. I think back to 12 years ago and before that, how much more confident of a teacher I am, that I know that when I walk into a classroom that I can have the students learn what I want them to be able to have after the class. And I do believe this, every class needs to have a major philosophy. What's the goal, what's the ultimate goal of that class? That 5 years, 10 years down the line, that they'll be able to understand. Because they're going to forget the minutia, the data, the facts, all that stuff they look up on Google. All that stuff, you know, if you think back in college or high school, you know, economics, what do you remember? Supply and demand, that's what you remember. You don't remember anything else probably. Same thing with foreign languages and things like that. They're very small things that you're going to actually remember. If you're teaching the music class, what's your goal with that? And one of my goals was to never have any student hate music because of me. I wanted to also show them the love I have for music. And be it that they were going to be an amateur musician, professional musician, didn't matter. If music was involved in our life, that was the ultimate goal. And it could be that they are playing it, or when they listen to it, they appreciate it more. Those are not bad things to have. You as a teacher, be it a music teacher or a regular teacher or whatever, you have the ability to change the world in a lot of ways. And you need to take advantage of that and love what you're doing. And if you ever get to a point where you don't love what you're doing, you need to reevaluate what are you doing there. Anyways, rock and roll, and keep on smiling, keep on teaching, and y'all students out there keep on learning too.